So let's talk about classroom expectations for a minute. You said when we were just talking about what you do at the beginning of the year, one of the
Mhm.
things that's important is for students to know the expectations.
Mhm.
So what is the importance of the expectations? What do you mean by classroom expectations? And what impact do those have on the overall relationship you hold with your students?
Well, classroom expectations, when the students come in, it is not the same as home.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be able to tell the obvious difference. In the classroom, you would have structure, you know, you would have your goals, what is expected by the end of the day, the year,
Mm-hmm.
the term, the year. Um, I think it is important for students to know these expectations so that they can measure or um, it's like they're evaluating their own actions,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're there or not.
Mm-hmm.
It should be able to come to that.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing something, the teacher is not there. If you go back to whatever it is that was discussed, what the expected behavior is, and so on, then you can tell yourself whether you're on the right track or not, whether this is
Yeah.
something that you should have done,
Yeah.
okay, whether you should stop, change that around, do something else. You should be able to sit and do some form of reflection, even if
Mm-hmm.
you're 5, 6, 7 years old,
Yeah.
because you would appreciate sometimes you're in the classroom, a child is behaving in a certain way, you just call the child's name and you
Mm-hmm.
don't say anything else,
Mm-hmm.
and the child stops whatever it is that he or she is doing,
Yep.
or the child immediately looks at another one and say, I'm sorry, without you saying anything other
Yeah.
than just calling the name. Why? It's
Right.
because they know already
Yep.
what the expectation is.
Mm-hmm.
They have evaluated their actions right away. You didn't have to say anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they apologize or they stop, they go back to their seat. Sometimes
Yep.
you don't even call their name.
Yep.
You just stay. They look at you and then they go to their seat or they do whatever it is that they're doing.
Yep.
If there are no expectations, they don't know,
Right.
whatever
What
it
did I do
is
wrong?
that,
What am I supposed to?
yes,
Why is she staring at me right now? They
they'll
just
just
think
carry
you're
on.
weird, right?
Yeah, they'll just carry on or look at you like, what's going on with her?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because of those expectations,
Yeah.
they know how to behave. It directs them,
Mm-hmm.
it helps them.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I think it is important.
And if we think in terms of our job as a school is to prepare our students to be effective citizens out in the world, then that means part of what we have to do is teach them the behaviors that are going to allow them to be effective. So setting those expectations so that they can get used to this is the right way to behave is incredibly valuable. We're instilling values, right? Sometimes they come from homes where those values that they're getting at home just aren't going to allow them to succeed in the world.
Yes.
And school is the one place where they can get a chance to develop the values that will allow them to break whatever that home culture might be that just isn't very productive.
Yes. Another point is that you have a class with diverse students. Again, like you mentioned, they come from homes with different values. Um, certain things are expected, accepted. Certain things are not. So when they come to that classroom, that is that one place where everybody comes, and you try to create that level surface. I mean, we do recognize that people are different, but then being polite is something that goes across the board. It doesn't depend on who you are. Being polite, being respectful, trying as much as possible not to just be wasting time. It doesn't matter who you are. All of these things are standard things that everybody should value. So you try to create that kind of atmosphere where we can all come together, reach our goals, without anybody being offended or infringed upon. This is that one little place where we can all go by that same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, you need that. You need that.